to the Black Mind Games podcast, episode 302.
Hey, 302.
Yeah, we have successfully surpassed. We're a podcast that can surpass the Dick Show, even though Dick Show is probably a better show than ours.
Better produced, at least.
Better produced, better edited, better everything.
Anyways,
Allan has a rant.
I have a little bit of a rant. We are also joined by Josh, who I think played a game this week, and we're going to talk about the things. However, I got a little bit of a rant. It's a bit of a money rant. As everyone knows, I play 40K. I play Warhammer. I love my game.
Mm-hmm.
I got promised an update about a month ago, and I was like, hey, Guardsmen are getting a sprue update. Awesome. I'm going to buy like a bunch of those Guardsmen when they come out. Then last Sunday, they announced what the pre-orders were for this upcoming weekend, which is just they went online yesterday, and I pre-ordered them, which were the Sisters of Battle stuff. And I was just like, yeah, I'm buying some of the Sister Battle stuff. I'm buying the Codex. I'm buying...
Oh, wait, Sisters of Battle came out?
New Sisters of Battle stuff are on pre-order right now. But then today I went down to Games Workshop yesterday and made my pre-order, and I was just like, oh, I don't need to buy all my stuff right now. I'll pick up most of it next Saturday because like whatever, it'll be better that way. That way I'm not spending all this money right now, and I can just afford to like split out the purchases a little bit better. And then this morning rolled around. And I was up at 6 in the morning just sitting around, reading, enjoying my morning. And then 11 o'clock rolled around. And 11 o'clock is when GW updates stuff on their community website, which is Warhammer Community. And all it is just news, information. And they announced what the next week's pre-order were, which is what they go on sale on next Saturday. Right now it's Sunday night. Just so everybody has this context. I did my pre-order purchase yesterday. Got my little cool medallion for making my purchase of over $100. Cool, thanks, buddy. I'm going home. Have a good day. Bye. And then I got the email this morning of what the pre-orders were for this week. So the Guardsman update is coming out this week. Is due to be pre-ordered on Saturday, along with the Gaunt's Ghosts model kit, along with 2 books. And I'm just sitting there being like, God damn it. So I had to go down to GW today and order more stuff because I knew I'm going to be buying stuff on Saturday again. And I'm just like, God damn it. Fucking son of a bitch. I'm super excited because now I got new equipment and war gear for my Guardsmen and stuff.
Nice.
This is me more complaining about the inconvenience of the timing of, oh hey, yeah, now I gotta buy a bunch of Guardsmen now that I wasn't really prepared to buy next week.
I am excited to have new fun models that are nuns with guns. That's all I want.
The nuns this week are nuns with halberds and a power sphere.
Power sphere? God. Can I have a gold nun with red? I just want gold nuns with red. Is that wrong?
Gold nuns with red?
Yes, and I want to paint their helmets to have... Hold on, here. So there's a meme I posted in chat, and Allan can look at it. And in the top left-hand corner, there's a picture, and that's kind of what I want to do nuns with red accents. So I want to do gold nuns with red accents. And then I want to paint their helmets like that.
Gold nuns with red. Which one are you talking about?
Okay.
Which corner? Top right or top left? You said
top left. The ones
you're talking about the helmets?
Yes.
Why?
Because I think it would be hilarious for 5 seconds. And then I would be ashamed to have them on the table.
No, that image there, by the way, is an actual, I think actual painted model stuff.
Yeah,
I might be wrong, but you go for it. You can make the joke of they do this because why not? I mean, the Guardsmen got their balaclava that literally looks like it's just like, hey, yeah, I'm wearing panties over my face. I've made the successful panty raid into the Sisters' dorm. And it like my buddy was like, I don't see it, I see this, and he sent me a picture of where the actual like face mask comes from. I'm like, yeah, no, I know where it comes from. But it still looks like in this model, it looks like he raided the panties.
So, okay.
And
Well,
it's even in the meme. It's right there in the bottom left where you see the guardsman helmet. I know which one that is because I've literally seen that Reddit post. And I giggle, and they're like, "Oh, well, female represent." Also, this meme is kind of like wrong because like when we meme about things, we're gonna be really fun. We're gonna be like really pushing the envelope.
Mega faith. We need mega faith. That's what we need. Josh, don't you agree? We need mega faith.
I wouldn't say that.
Or are you more of a I need the greater good titties?
No, go.
I like how Josh. I like how Allan just goes no.
I just like the hard contrast between it's a very serious hardcore motherfucker, don't mess with these motherfucker games, but at the same time there's people who are like, put tits on this, show the tits. Maybe there's a panty raid or two, who knows. I'm like, I think there's space enough for some humor.
I actually had this really fun conversation with somebody who I had to explain this to about 40K. 40K is, of course, grimdark, but it doesn't mean that life doesn't happen. Grimdark means that no matter what happens, your life means nothing. You will be snuffed out in a second if need be, and the only thing that the only thing that matters in the universe is just the constant battle and war and the laughter of thirsting gods, which is the reason why that's in the intro. But it doesn't mean that moments of levity, jokes, things like that don't happen. It's not that like, oh hey ha. Like a good example, like I read a book called Baptism of Fire, which is about the Canadian Battle of Ypres, the Second Battle of Ypres, which is the Canadians' first battle in World War One. And there's a discussion where like one soldier's walking along in a trench line, and he sees some British soldiers stand there, and they walk past, and they shake this hand that's sticking out of the mud, and they carry on. And like he asks them, he's like, "Well, what's the point of that?" It's like, "Oh, that's the sergeant." Or well, what we call the sergeant, and we always give him a handshake whenever we go to the front line. And he's like, that's a dead man's hand. It's like, we know, but like it keeps us cheerful, and they carry on with their day. And I'm just like, yeah, I could see that happening in 40K. I legit could see that, like there's an arm just sticking out of a trench or out of a pile of rubbles in this like handshake position, where like it's like reaching up to like handshake you, and you like they would do it like. And it's not that like. And like on top of that, it's a game. We're gonna make fun of it. Like, look at Halo. Halo's surprisingly dark. Billions get exterminated in like one or 2 days because of glassing. Mass battles where the humans have to deploy a fleet 3 times larger than the Covenants to even have a chance of winning. And then we have the memes that come out of Halo. And oh god, they are a thing. Josh?
Halo is very dark. Halo is super dark, man.
Halo's not super dark. It's child
soldiers created for war.
Yes. Well, no. Again, it's the reason why. Like, it's dark. It's not super dark. Like, I hate. You know how old Space Marines are when they're indoctrinated?
13.
9 to 10.
Oh, even worse.
You want to know how old Scouts are when they are actually first put into combat?
15, 14?
15 at the oldest.
Yes, great.
Yeah, so cannons, and by the way, the Imperial Guard use child soldiers too, because a good example, my army, the Cadians, they have a rank, or well, and I'm air quoting this, rank in the army called White Shield, which is just which is all it is yeah, you're a conscript from our planet, and everybody has to be able to fire a last gun by 10 years old, and they have to be able because it's a war world, that they literally are guarding the gateway into hell, so everybody's trained for war, and if you're not, you're doing it wrong, or you were born on the wrong planet, as the joke goes. And And the point is, like, by 15, 16 years old, you're in the Planetary Defense Force, being trained to join the Cadian Shock Troopers, and then you'll be established as a White Shield by I think 16, 17, and then you'll be shipped out to a regiment that you'll just be attached to if you make it into the Guard. And you will be in your first combat within the time you've reached your regiment. And that's the point of the name, is White Shield. You're so new, none of your armor is like stained. It's all clean. It's all polished. You don't even have your squad number yet. You're just like, hey, I'm the new guy. Yep, you're in this squad of 30 guys. I'm going to tell you which direction you're going to go. You're going to go that way. And if you come back, we might assign you to a squad. Or we might keep you in that conscript squad. We don't know.
So anyways, let's not talk about Warhammer for the rest of the show.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to make panty-headed models, and I'm going to be very embarrassed to play against anyone the next time I bring out such a battle. Instead, we got to talk about Gundam Seed. Gundam Seed's getting a new series.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. Gundam Seed's getting...
legit, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
That came out of, recent news.
I thought Gundam Seed was done. I thought
Gundam
it was
Seed
just
is
done
done.
and over.
It is over. It was officially over. But they're making a new one because apparently we need more Gundam Seed in our life, which is good. We get new mech suits. We get
Apparently we need more of fucking Space Jesus.
Yeah, we get more...
Kira.
We get more plot armor. We're also going to get, how do I say this? We're going to get more amazing, really well-designed mobile suits because Seed has some very beautiful designed mobile suits.
Seed has some very beautiful mobile designs. Their grunt designs are terrible.
I would say it depends on...
I'm not wrong.
If you're talking about Zaft, no, you're wrong. If you're talking about anything Federation-like, yes, you're completely right.
No,
everything except...
Even the Zaft stuff doesn't look good. The basic grunt for Zaft looks decent, but the rest, nah.
The Gundams are really part of the show.
The Gundam's the only... I think the Gundam's the only thing that look really nice, and even then, there are sometimes where I look at one of the Gundams and I go, I don't know about this one.
I will take a Freedom every single day of the week. That's what I'll say. And this Stray Gundam. The Stray is also pretty good.
I don't mind the Freedom. The Freedom is the one I think I really like the most of it. No,
wait. It goes Freedom, Freedom, Justice, Stray, Strike, and then maybe Duel, and that's it. I'm trying to
think.
But we got a new mobile suit for Seed. It looks like the Penelope mixed with the Strike. It is literally, that is it. That is all it is. And I don't know how I feel about this, but it's more Gundam, so cool. I'm okay with this. Hopefully it's not trash.
It's probably going to be trash, and you know it.
I mean, as long as they don't do a Seed Destiny, that's okay.
I hate to break it to you.
Even though the Destiny is, really, really cool. The Destiny is Edge Boy Gundam. That's all I'll say. It's the edgiest Gundam.
I don't know about that. I really don't know about that.
It has the red tear eyes.
And?
That's about it. What else? Anything else? Did we talk about Amazon's crying closets?
No.
We did.
We are literally 10 minutes into the show, and we're already asking about, have we talked about this?
I'm asking about last week. Did we talk about Amazon's crying closets?
I think we might have.
I can't remember.
Amazon has crying closets. Nobody should support Amazon. That's all we're going to say.
Okay. No. We're gonna actually properly talk about this. So, what do we know about the crying closets or whatever it is?
They're a closet you go in. There's a computer, and then you can sit and watch YouTube videos, and maybe empty out your piss bottles.
Yep, in your shit buckets.
And your shit bucket.
All right, so I get a bit of a laugh out of this, and you're gonna all hate me for saying this.
I will definitely hate you for this, yes.
So everybody's like, oh, Amazon's got these terrible working conditions and stuff like that. Amazon's got all this. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, didn't they just have a union vote a couple months ago where the overwhelming majority of workers in that company were like, yeah, no, we're not unionizing.
I don't think so.
Yes,
or did
they did.
They did.
Were they brainwashed?
No, it's okay. So here's this funny thing about unions, and I get a little bit of a rant about this. Well, no, I get a little bit of a comment about this. Unions aren't always a good thing, and I think the Amazon staff actually know that, considering how vehemently they were against it. Because like, instead of being meritocratic, unions don't allow for people who are like, oh well, this guy's worked hard. He's clearly invested in this company. We're gonna promote him. Well, if you're unionized, and a solid 99% of unions are by time. So if you've been there for 5 years, you're entitled to whatever benefits you would get after 5 years. So what that means is a union's actually kind of detrimental to you if you work really hard in your first like 6 months and you're like, I want to get better position, I want to do all this, and you work, and it turns out that no matter how hard you're working, it turns out that everything that you would get for doing hard work isn't even up to you now. It's up to a bunch of people that are kind of like determining how long it takes for you to get a pay raise, how long it takes for you. And I think that's the reason why like the Amazon staff kind of went against it.
I mean, that makes sense, yeah.
And I think the reason why they went against it is more or less because I think that they saw what the unions did and several other jobs. Like again, unions don't make sense in shipping because of the way that they are. But at the same time, I don't know.
I think that we can all agree that unions are perfect, depending on the job, and some of them work fine, but it really depends on the job.
All right, I'm gonna fucking ruin everybody's a little bit happy day about how good unions are.
Do it.
I'm not unioned. Our operators are. I work road construction, as everybody knows, and I suffer every year for working road construction, but I make that choice. But because I'm not unionized, I'll move up whenever if my boss thinks I've earned a pay raise, or earned a position change, or earned a different like thing like that, or I'm not doing good enough, he can just commit to doing his thing. Which I like, because then it means that I'm judged by the character of my skill or my ability, and as a result, I'm not worried about being like, well, maybe I guess it's just time for me to get my pay raise. Like I didn't get most of the guys who started the same day I did got a pay raise before I did, but then I got the second pay raise before them because my boss saw me at the start of the next all of them left at the start of a university year. They all left at the start of university, and I worked my ass off for the next 2 months. Starting the next season, I got my initial pay raise to catch them back up with them, and then about a month later, I got my second pay raise up to $23 an hour. And I was like, "Are you sure I deserve this?" Like, dude, I saw you how you worked last year, and you've already proven that this year that you're prepared to show up and do the job. So I don't see why I would not pay you.
Okay.
Which is the reason why, I'm both for and against unions. This is the thing.
That's very sure.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it sounds like you actually kind of are like very much like against this cry closet crap.
Okay, I want to know, like, I hate the name cry closet because I don't think that's actually what it's meant to be. I think it's just meant to be like, yeah, you go in there, you fucking take your break, then you go back out. I think that's what it's meant to be. I think it's just fucking really poorly done. I know what they're trying. I think I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep productivity up and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, whatever. I'm kind of just indifferent.
I mean, that makes sense.
Okay. If it is actually like a cry closet, and if the one thing that I heard, which is that you have to pay while you're in there, which can go fuck itself. I'm on break. I'm now taking something that I'm allotted as my worker, because you have to allot me this time. by law down even in the States, it's by law. You will you can go fuck yourself. But if it's just like, yeah, you go in there, you sit down, you take your break, you take your rest, whatever, they just mark that you're in your one of the closets taking a break, like you're like, and you take your 15-minute allotted time. All right, whatever. You go back to work. I wouldn't care. Hell, that actually wouldn't be a bad idea. It's just like, hell, it could be a pretty smart idea too. Just being like, yeah, no, here's the break stations. You can go here and just take a break and be away from people if you need to be, or you can go to the break room over there in X place. It's just an extra resource. I don't think it's gonna stick though, because like it doesn't seem like a very optimum thing to do in a fucking warehouse. Just these things just kind of sitting there being like, surprise, here's your break. No, and on top of that, if they are going to be like recording people going in, people are going to fucking find a way to fucking break those things and make sure they can take as long as a break as they want.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's talk about the fun one. Josh, you played Sludge Life.
Right.
Oh, yes. I played a video game and not pissed in the closet.
Oh, yes. We'll talk about Hired Gun afterwards, and then we'll talk about the either 3080 Ti or the big one.
Oh, boy.
So,
well,
go!
So, the video game I played, Sludge Life, at first I thought it was going to be a little more video gamey, but it kind of slowly turned into, like, it's a walking sim, but at least there's more involved than just walking. Basically, there is platforming, and there's also collectibles, and there's also just a lot of interactivity with the environment, and also how they explain in the environment why it doesn't do anything is that everything's on strike. So you're talking to people, they don't give a flying fuck that you're there, and you're not supposed to be there, but there's only a few NPCs around that would actually punch you or anything, and they won't like kill you, quote unquote. The only thing that could actually kill you in the game is that you jumping off of a high cliff and then you hitting the ground because there's fall damage. You can actually go and turn that off in the options. Yeah. You can actually go turn it off in the options in the game. If you wanted to, but I left it on because I'm like, it's probably part of the game. And so basically Sludge Life is you wake up from your little cubby hole of a abandoned sea can that's on the far edges of the map, and you basically get out of your sea can that looks like it's discarded, but you're actually living there, and you pop out of it, and basically you just walk around and try to figure out what your goal is, and it turns out that you're a graffiti tagger or a graffiti artist, and your goal is to just go around, spread your tags as much as you can with the other graffiti artists they're there. Luckily, it's not for making beef. It's more of just trying to get your respect up. So basically, as you're graffiti tagging stuff, you meet other graffiti artists. They're like, the more that you tag, the more you get respect, and you can do a combo with certain graffiti artists that's already there. And a combo is you're kind of painting over their artwork, but you're trying to emphasize both yours and their artwork, which I liked. So it's like, it's not necessarily a beef with the person. It's more of like, trying to show respect and like trying to show like, hey, I have a certain character I draw all the time. What? And you draw guns all the time. Why don't I make your guns kill my character like to fucking shit and back? So you're going around trying to find, find the big combo you can do. And you're making it so that your character fucking dies brutally because of the gunshot from one of the other graffiti artists' artwork. And then the graffiti artist that does that, it goes like, that's fucking rad. You're like, that's cool, I like it. And then you get your more respect in the game. And so basically it's more of a venturing around and just trying to figure out what the story is of this whole like weird mini island. And basically this whole island is like just this corrupt, like making oil, and the whole place has a vibe of like everything is toxic and everything sucks, and no one gives a flying fuck, and that clearly shows in all the terrain and all the stuff you look at, because There's shipping containers strewn everywhere. There's people who are on they're working, or they're not working, or they are working but they're not working. And there's even a full-on strike when you get to the main work building. That's what I can gather, that they're pulling all this oil from the sea. Is that once they pull they pull out all the oil, there's this main office space that's selling the oil and shit. They're like, basically there's a big strike because it actually killed the mascot of the island, and it is actually kind of brutal because you look at what's happening. You see this giant head of this giant statue just it fell on top of the mascot, and you see the guy who got crushed, and you see his eyeballs are still on the ground, and people are kind of looking at it going, man, I gotta clean that up. And you're like, are people concerned that he's dead? and people are just going, I gotta clean that up. And yeah, like, also you can get like power-ups in the game, like I said. So it's like you get a glider, so you can go from a really high, you can the climb, there's kind of a climbing mechanic, sorta. If you can it's more of like, if it's head height, you can actually go up and over that object. But if it's a little more than that, you can't quite, get up and over that, because like you can't get, grasp on the ledge or whatever. And later on, you get a glider. So it's like, oh, that's how I get to these really hard places to get to. Because it's like, how in the fuck do I get there? It's like, you get this glider. And the next thing you get is a teleporter, which is a little more hidden. The teleporter is you point at a spot, you walk away, and you hit a button, you go back to that same spot that you pointed to. So it's like, oh, this be really useful for like, I'm going to try to platform to a certain area and try again until like I finally get it, and you don't have to fucking like walk back to the same spot for like maybe a minute and a half or something. And what was the other power-ups? Oh, there's a mini game in the game, which is like this weird Bejeweled, but it's like an RPG instead. Like you're a dude, it's a grid pattern mini game. You're trying to get a sword and a shield to have enough hit points to keep going through all the enemies till you get to the boss.
So is it a fun game once you get to the boss?
It's certainly. Here's the thing. So the mini game portion of it, it's interesting and kind of fun, but it's kind of just not really fleshed out, because it's like, oh, this is a concept, but it's not really like a lot of things going on for it. There's another funny thing is that you can, when you pause the game, it will go into a window, kind of like a fake window screen, and you can check around the options and check out other things that you haven't unlocked in the game. You can unlock a camera, which you can take pictures of all the weird scenery in the game. I have dozens of these pictures, although I can't figure out where in the fuck to save the pictures. There is what else? There's other. Oh, I'm trying to go to properties and see if I can go to the folders and share pictures. Browse. There it is. But so you get the camera, you get the laptop, which also shows you how to like get into the options menu and stuff like that. There's the weird teleporter, and then there's the man, I can't remember anything else other than like the game is very weird, and like the living the life of like these people in the scenery, you could tell it sucks. It's just really like the people either thought they get paid well, or maybe there's an opportunity to get more cash or something. And then later on, you just figure out, oh, it just sucks. It sucks immensely.
Yes.
Yeah. And let's see if I can show an interesting picture if I took any. Oh, because of like you're a graffiti tagger, you kind of like to have this. Or at least the attitude everyone has is like, don't give a BS. And of course, there's like one point in the game where you go up to this big tower where, this corporation is sucking all the oil out of the sea. You go to the big tower and trying to figure out where the CEO is, because it's like everyone wants to see the CEO. You can't figure out where he is. You figure out he's in his own little room, and then you see him, he's sleeping on or in a bathtub with his eyes closed and he's sleeping, and you turn around and you see a fucking a table with food, and like the birds you've been seeing walking around living off the scenery, he's just gutted it and eating it, like just right there raw, and you're like, that's fucked. And apparently there's a prompt that you can spit in his food, which which is very gratifying. Oh yeah, and this image is kind of actually I'll show this image, share this image because it's kind of fucked. Because when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's why do you have this in this game? I don't understand. And then you look closer and you go, oh, that's even weirder. So the person is not hung. They're hung by their hair somehow. I put it in general.
Huh.
Like, there's a lot of weird shit going on.
Is this like a VR?
There's I don't think there's VR.
No,
but
I mean,
this game...
because like the screenshot, it looks like it's just a VR, so that's what I was wondering. Like, hey, what's up?
Oh, you like cell shaded
Yeah.
or whatever? It kind of is. I would say it has cell shading. I'm not sure like what precise cell shading it is, but oh yeah, you go to the apartments. There's just a room with a giant baby. No explanation, just giant baby. And then I was trying to take some artsy shots. I forget what this one is. I think it's the dude. What's this one? No, not that one.
Why are we here? Just to suffer.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. I like this shot. That's all the different graffiti artists' names, and yours is Ghost.
Ah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just a really weird walking simulator graffiti sim-ish game.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I would say
a
like
lot of walking sims are games that they set it up. They like, oh, it's a game. They put some bare bone basics in. And honestly, I think that's actually an apt description of what this game is from the way you described it. Is even though you go out and you do like art tags and stuff like that, it's not really like a lot of stuff put in. It's more just like, yeah, we're showing you off this world because we really want to get like really cool tension and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's like you're upfront about it. It's like, yeah, no, this isn't a really big game. This is just us like dicking around with games and stuff like that.
oh wait, here's a good image you could use as a thumbnail. Guy drinking beers alone in a shower.
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
Like again, you venture everywhere. Everyone has this like BS, don't give a shit attitude, and you go to see this guy in the bathroom. You're like, what are you doing? And it turns out he's like, the conversation you have with him is, I can't drink alone in the pool, so therefore I'm gonna drink underneath the shower. I'm like, okay, that's stupid logic, but fine. Drink in the shower, and he's just eating all these beer cans. You're like, okay. Fine. Oh, and also here's another funny shot. So the only reason you know that's there because you see this guy in the trench coat and he has it covered, and you're like, okay, I know he's he's going to show something. You don't know how to get him to show it. So what you do is you turn around and then you kind of look back and you hear a ah. And you're like, where did that come from? You know it came from the dude. So what you do is take out your camera, look away, and you whip back as fast as you can and take a picture. And it turns out he has a small face.
He has a little John.
He has a little John.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, like the humor in this game is. I like the humor. It's just like it's gross, but yeah, at the same time, it's like it's cartoony. So it's like I can get behind that. It's pretty entertaining. And it is. Wait, one more. This is like also pinnacle of the humor. You talk to there's a burger joint. You talk to the burger joint manager who's on the this in his office, and he's like, "Man, I fucking hate it here. Blah blah blah. Oh, I left a huge stinker in the bathroom. It's fucking glorious. You should go see it." And I'm like, what? Like, and you go to the bathroom, you just see this fucking giant log, and you're like, So I'm like, I need to take a picture of this. So yeah, it's entertaining game, I will say. And also, if the game was ever, actually, I bought it for $12, I think, or 15. If it went on sale lower, like say 5, I would say it's worth 5 because it's short, not a lot to it, but there is a lot of like creativity and like art in this game. So I was like, I'll give it some points for that. But other than the looks, I would just say like,
Would you say it's better looking than the 2001 image that we got? Or
She must be older.
21. She looks like she had a lot of food.
She does. Although I would argue maybe, I don't know.
She looks like me.
She ate some bees.
She looks like me.
I mean, she probably ate a bee.
Probably.
Like a dog. Oh no, the dog ate a bee and it just balloons. It looks more adorable.
Yeah.
But they're in pain.
Yeah.
They're in pain.
Yeah. Anyways, we gotta talk about Necromunda. Holy shit, man. Necromunda is fun. It's a fun video game.
All right, we're talking about Hired Gun now.
Yes, we're talking about Hired Gun. That game needs polish.
Of course it does. Like, well, that's the standard for that company. I hate to break it to you. Have you played Deathwing? Yeah, that game needed polish.
Nah. That game is like, you play that game and it's like, I can see with animation segments linked together. That was literally the experience I had. Is like, there are problems with that game, but I really enjoy it. It's really well, like, they got the core aspect of the gameplay right, and then it's just like, oh, like, I can see where the animation loops. That's bad, mostly. That's really bad. We shouldn't have that. Everything should be good, clean, well managed. This game, nope. But the gunplay is really good. The core loop is pretty good. They do a lot of little basic things. They make the gameplay really fun. But it just has that major issue of it just needs more polish. It needs more time in the oven. They have like weapon customization. Some of the weapons feel overpowered.
You only have, I think, 4 weapon models. They just have a bunch of other stuff tacked on.
Yeah. You have like 4 basic weapon types. But other than that, gameplay is really fun, very fluid. It kind of feels like Titanfall, but a little bit more locked down, if that makes sense. Where Titanfall was very free flow. You could kind of go anywhere. You could kind of do anything you want. This game has like the similar movement. You can wall run, you can wall jump, you can do pretty much everything. And then you get a grappling hook. But Titanfall was like very interesting environments with very interesting, well thought out ideas. This game's like, you can basically sneak through most of the game and kill things, and it kind of plays with mechanical simulation a little bit more than Titanfall did, where Titanfall was a very set path of, this is where this goes, this is the scene, this is the sequence that we're going to do, and all the sequences are really cool and interesting. This game's kind of like, here's the mechanics, now go have fun.
Yeah, well, that's not a problem. It's actually
no. I actually prefer that, because it's like, here's the problem, go solve the problem.
Yeah.
Whereas Titanfall, like, the thing was, there are really good sequences in Titanfall 2, and then there are really like kind of like, okay, I've seen this before. Like the entire first 2 missions of Titanfall 2 are like pretty much that to a T.
I've seen and done this before. Please let me just go.
Please show me the cool shit. Oh, now here's the cool shit. Okay, now I love you.
Basically, yeah. I won't disagree with that statement.
So, I am actually kind of like really happy about that and how it handled itself.
I've heard a lot of good things. I've seen a lot of good things. I hear you get a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
You get a Cyber Mastiff, and I have a Cyber Mastiff model.
You get a very good boy. He's a very good boy.
Here's the funny thing. Because you have a Cyber Mastiff, that technically means you're an Orlock hired gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the hired guns that we have in lore, each faction has their own like preferred animal and stuff like that. So like Escher has like tiger-like cats. Goliath has crocodiles. Crawdor has rats, like literal rats with explosives on their back. You have, and of course, Orlok, the Gang of Iron, which is what they are, has cyber mastiffs for their like animal, and it's really cool because they're like they've got like the thing you get when you finish that game is your dog is all kitted up, all teched out, all like looks really cybernetic and stuff like that. It's really cool, and I'm just like, I saw the picture of it for the first time. I saw the picture of it. I was like, that's just an Orlok Cyber Mastiff. Oh my god, that's the game. I kind of want to play that just because I would be an Orlok hired gun, and I'll get the picture of the dogs.
Oh, I love it. The dog though, I find like really corny because like literally you use the dog and then you have like you can see all of the enemies, but it will just like go up to one and just rip him to shreds. The stuff where I say like it needs polish is like stuff where it's like I can see the animation sequences. There's an enemy in that game that kind of looks like a dreadnought. Allan probably knows what it is, but it has like this really bad problem where like you will play that game, you will shoot it like multiple times, and it's just a bullet sponge.
Yep.
But yeah, everything about that game, it just feels like it's so close to being like 10 out of 10 material, and then it just like goes like, I'm at the 90% mark. Good enough. Whereas like Cyberpunk was like, and I'll draw a comparison to Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's the same way. Game needs lots of polish, but Cyberpunk, like, it was 90% there, and then everything underneath it just fell apart. Whereas this is like, the core is really good. I really enjoy it. Everything about this game is actually functional and works. It just needs that little bit of like 1-2, 1-2, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I don't know, have you guys played, have either of you guys played Cyberpunk recently?
I haven't even touched yet.
Okay.
Also, there you go. That's what
It's
I mean.
so much better now than it was when it first came out, where it's like before it was like you would be playing it and you would just be like, oh, this game doesn't have this, you can't do this, it's not as good as this, and and then everything's failing underneath the part where it's like, oh, I can do GTA level things and now I can't because cops will just spawn behind me. Now it's like, oh, okay, it's actually like functional services. There are actual functions in the game. And I think that's fair to say, is like even CD Projekt Red admitted that, like, yeah, the game wasn't as good as we wanted it to be.
Then why did you release it? And like, there's
a lot of reasons why they probably released it, Allan.
Yeah, and none of them are good.
Yes, some of them might be.
Not really.
Other than that, I might buy a Lionel Johnson model.
Wait, you're gonna buy a Lionel Johnson Primarch model?
Yes.
Why?
Because I like Lionel Johnson.
Why do you want to paint the autistic kid of the fucking Primarchs?
He's not autistic. He's beautiful.
He literally is. Holy shit! There's a line in one of the scenes in like one of the books where the Astartes makes where he makes a comment and the Astartes chuckles at it and he's like, "That's a good joke, sir." And like Lionel Johnson like looks at him straight face. He's like, "I wasn't joking." And the Primarch suddenly realizes like, "Oh my god, he wasn't joking." Oh shit, he actually is serious about that because it was such an absurd statement that like you had like he is, I swear it's so great. It's just
send it to me. I need to know. I don't remember. This Primarch seems perfect for me.
I'll see if I can get the quote words. Just
it's
like
either that or the Night Haunter, who is literally
the Night Haunter's The Night Hunters are pretty good. Like honestly, I like Lionel Johnson's model. I'm happy that he has a helmet, and I think everybody should have a helmet for the Primarchs.
Yeah. The problem with the Night Haunter is, like, the Night Haunter right now, everyone's like... There's two really funny, really dumb things with the Night Hunter. Is the Night Hunter is literally weaponized, what is it? Asperger's?
No.
Rory made this joke. I forget what it was. Weaponized something.
I don't know what he said, but all right, I trust him, but I don't know what I'd have to hear what he said specifically to confirm or deny. If you don't remember what it is, I don't want to take your word for it. I need to hear it from Rory.
Yeah, but he said it was weaponized like some mental disease and stuff like that. But like now the joke that everyone's making is like, yeah, the Night Hunter, if he just like transitioned, he would have been okay. And it's like, I don't think the Night Hunter would have been okay if he transitioned. I think he still would have been a genocidal maniac. Because the thing that drew him...
joke. I have not heard that joke either.
That was something I heard. I was seeing on Dank r/Grim Dank.
Oh well, yeah, that's Grim Dank. You don't listen to fucking Grim Dank.
Yeah,
Grim Dank is just fucking memes.
It's memes, and I love it.
Like that, there is a difference between like, oh hey, we're actually discussing about a character. Like I will straight up, in all honesty, the reason why I say Lionel Johnson is just a fucking autistic kid is because he's probably an autistic kid because of the way he's been written. Like he doesn't understand jokes, he doesn't understand social cues. He's such a weird character in such a fun way. But at the same time, like the way I'd probably put it for like the Night Lord.
Mm-hmm.
The Night Lord is Batman without morals.
Pretty much, and that's why I love him.
He's also, oh my god, there's also a scene where Lionel Johnson's hunting him. He finds him and he's just hunched up like Batman when, like, you know how like Batman and images will be like crouched on like his tiptoes, like perched on a gargoyle looking over the city of Gotham, prepared to like leap into action to go save the day. Conrad Curse is in that same position, but he looks up at Lionel Johnson as he's approaching, and he waves a hand at him. And I will repeat that. He waves a hand at him. Not his hand. A guy's hand that he took in the previous book. Like, he cut off that man's hand and kept it with him that whole time. And then he's just using it to wave at him now. And, like, Lionel Judge is, like, kind of like, oh, well, I found him. He's like, wait, is that Ralderon's hand? Is he waving at me with that? What? And it's such a great moment because it's just like Lionel Judge is like, what am I dealing with here? I don't know how to respond to this. It's so great. It's just he's a character that is like legit just a meme. Hello.
Okay, yes, no, I okay. Yeah, okay. You're making me want to buy Night Hunters, and I still want to buy Dark Angels because Dark Angels are best. They're based. That's my argument. Anyways, we also had some Warhammer news other than Hired Gun coming out and stuff like that. People should buy Hired Gun if you want just a decent boomer shooter. I think Josh would like it.
A boomer shooter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, these are all the games that were announced on Friday that I didn't actually.
There was one game that made me quake. My titties got very hard.
I heard about it. It's the Grey Knights one, isn't it?
Yes, I like Grey Knights. I also kind of want to pick up a Grey Knight army.
Can you post me a link? Also, the Grey Knights might not be a bad choice because they're getting a set update here soon. Like the next box set is Grey Knights versus Thousand Suns. So.
Grey. Hold on. Chaos. Gate. Demon Hunter. Yeah, there it is. What else happened this week? We had 30 ATI. People should not buy a 30 ATI.
Why? What happened?
It's $1,500. It's a $1,200 3090. For $300 more, just get the 3090. It has double the VRAM. I'm not joking. Just get a 3090. It's just better. Somebody like Josh. Right. Josh should get a 3080 Ti, but just get a 3090. It's just better. And if you don't have the money, get a 3080. That's it. That's all you have to say. It's a waste of money. And the last topic, the one that Josh is going to love so much. Josh, you haven't talked too much this episode.
Nope.
Do you want to talk about this one?
That one is
Fauci email leaks.
oh god. I don't know. Just
It wasn't leaked. It was released, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's even more interesting.
Uh,
Because really, my opinion is you should still do the thing that other doctors recommend you do, just so you can protect the general population. Even though you're a cunty asshole, you should still do this.
okay.
And you don't care.
Okay, so that is actually the smartest. Talk to your doctor. That is a smart situation. No, the reason why this is in the news is because it linked itself into a certain organization that then gave money to the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Oh, we're talking about Fauci fucking bullshit.
Fauci, all of over 3,000 emails got released of Anthony Fauci's personal emails that were dictating a lot of the information between what he was saying at the beginning of the pandemic, what he was saying after the pandemic, and holy shit, dude, it looks like I was right.
That Wuhan is the source?
Wuhan Institute of Virology was the source. When you have somebody sitting there saying point blank that asking a question of did we fund gain of function research and the Wuhan Institute of Virology, that's kind of an issue there.
Yeah, I know. I know why we need to research fucking viruses and stuff like that, because we do. We absolutely need to research and make sure we don't get anything wrong or bad happen. But at the same time,
problem is when you research viruses and then you intentionally amp them up to 1,000, that's when we have problems.
Yeah, well, too late now. The past is the past. We gotta keep going on.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be going out the door right quick. I think they've already announced that he's getting fucking
fired,
booted off his fucking seat.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of this stuff is just a lot of the stuff that's happening right now in the world. It's like you look at it and it's like, oh, you guys could have easily had turned this into Donald Trump's fault very quickly, even if you didn't want to do that, by just stating that, like, hey, this happened underneath Donald Trump's watch. Like, I don't understand.
They can't, because, like,
they could, though.
Why? No, they can't. Because even though it happened under Donald Trump's watch.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they can't just go like, oh, well, it's Donald Trump's fault. He let it happen. Well, no, because this Fauci and the company that he was working for at the time and all these things, I don't think are directly tied to the U.S. government.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like, guess what? Like, this is probably just going to be Fauci's fault.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
And if it is tied to the U.S. government's practices and stuff like that, and if it is, and like they try to level it against Donald Trump, well, here's the thing: if the Fauci emails are like, "Hey, so yeah, this is the situation," which means Fauci knew, but it doesn't mean that Trump knew. Which again just leans like, "Oh, hey, yeah, you botched this up. You botched it up really bad," and yeah, I don't think Fauci's gonna be around for much longer. I think he's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't think he is
gone.
either. I'm just completely like my anger for this is like gone through the roof right now, because it's like you have single-handedly created a virus out of good intentions, and even if they were good intentions, they were so stupid to begin with that you potentially fucked over the entire human race for a year. And now we have actual fucking evidence that, like, again, this probably came from a lab. You not only fucked over me, you fucked over my entire friend group for over a year. And this is negatively impacting everyone.
Yep.
So I think legitimately this is disgusting. I'm taking a victory lap right now. Because we know for a fact that like the NHH and stuff like that, who are actually going to do the investigation, are going to find no wrongdoing whatsoever.
No, I don't think that's going to be the case this time.
I really hope so, but I'm
Especially
expecting...
because like especially with how much like how much it affected the world. If they try to go, oh yeah, no wrongdoing on Falcon, and they try to go like that, it's like, yeah, no, except the emails have been leaked to the public.
Yeah, it's funny because people, and I'm not trying to attack Josh when I say this, but it's funny because people like Josh who don't really care, they're just going to continue thinking that this is going to be like, oh, it came from the wet market.
No,
it's like, no, it came from a lab.
No, because this is all over. This is actually like surprisingly being commented about on the news and stuff like that. Like, yeah, no, this is.
Is it?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I've seen it a couple places on the news.
Is it going on CBC?
No.
Oh.
The places I've seen it. Then again, I've seen it on. Like, I don't watch mainstream news, so that might be me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really watch a lot of mainstream news anymore because I just kind of don't care.
All right. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of mainstream media news either. But yeah. Hey, Josh. Now that we're done talking about politics, though, talk about, like, speaking of fucking up the world, let's talk about Samsung's virtual sex assistant.
Oh, you mean the new AI? Oh my god.
I'm gonna go look at body kits from listings.
I fucking don't care. Holy shit. I don't know why everybody's simping over her. Holy fuck.
I have a good idea.
No, stop. Okay.
She is that female friend that you would bang.
No, she isn't. When I first saw the first image I saw of her is of course porn, and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" It's like, "Oh, Samsung got a new AI," and I was like, "So this is the new AI?" And it's like, "Yeah, why are we simping over this? We literally just complained that the corporations are fucking pandering to the LGBT community, and Samsung is literally doing it to you, and you guys are eating it up like fucking butter." And the guy was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even think about it." And I was just like, "What? How did you not think like?" Oh, and I just kind of like sighed. I'm like, I love the porn. It looked great. I don't care about this AI because I don't want this anything to do with me.
What the fuck, Allan?
Yeah.
What?
This is the kind of conversation I had about this new model. I was like, yeah, no, like they are literally like pandering to you to get you to spend money. Don't fucking do it. Like we've like stop. I know she's hot. I know you want to fuck her. Stop. It's Samsung.
What the fuck? No. Allan.
No.
Allan, listen to me.
No. Don't simp.
That's words to live by. So, Josh, how did you simp?
I just saw other people fucking drawing pornography of her, and I go, who the fuck is she?
Right.
Then I'm like, oh, that's who she is. And I just went, I can't believe they made a digital mascot. Because that will go down well, like the freaking eHarmony whatever.
eHarmony bullshit.
eHarmony what?
No, there's an insurance company that had their own like mascot in cartoon form.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Where she's like got pink hair and she's.
I think it's pink hair, and she's like spy.
She's a spy. She was the character for before Flo was there.
Yeah. I mean,
she was Esurance.
Yeah, there we go. It's just like you go down this trope of like these kind of weird mascot characters for like these certain companies, and like unless they have a certain trope or funny kick to them, then okay, fine, that might work, but. If you try to make it for sex appeal or something, that kind of goes off as cheesy and like,
I don't mind if characters have sex appeal about them. Like, I have no problem with that. I just hate the fact that people just like, we're gonna simp for this. Like, we want this character because she looks hot. And I'm like, guys, just no, you are literally buying into the fucking bait. Stop. Cease your simping.
I mean,
Stop. Don't look at her tits. Don't look at her tits, brother. Look. Gaze upon me. For tips are temporary, but Rome is eternal.
I
That
mean,
is
Josh, would you
me.
agree with
That
that statement? Josh, would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh man, I was expecting more fight.
Why? He knows I'm right.
I
Like,
think
Because really, at the end of the day, it's like, man, there's better better things to lust over? Question mark.
I mean, there are better things to lust over, such as like actual women.
Better living conditions.
What?
man.
That,
Hold
that
on.
is
Better
the
living
most
conditions?
random thing you've ever said.
Better
In the
living
history-
conditions is random.
In this show, yes.
No.
Not really.
Penis is like the most common
Yeah,
one. He's here. We're talking about penis. We haven't talked about penises in a fucking like a year at this point. I think.
See,
Josh has been surprisingly tame, and it's actually kind of a little distressing now. Josh, your character changed too much. Go back to the original. No,
Oh,
anyways,
damn.
It's all of that conversation with like a certain individual.
What else? What else do we really have anything to talk about this week? I don't have anything other than me complaining about money problems related to fucking buying models.
I mean, that's about it.
Models.
I mean, that's about it. But yeah, I think that's it for this week.
You good,
I think
you
so.
good, Josh?
I think so.
So, Josh, how many times would you fuck the insurance
Holy
lady?
fuck, Jesus Christ, keep it in your fucking dicks. Or keep it in your fucking pants. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I know, I'm fucking tired.
Keep
Fuck off.
it.
God damn it.
So, anyways, thank you everyone for listening to Black Mind Games Podcast, episode 302. You listen to us every Thursday on blackmindgames.podbean.com. You also subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app of choice. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm
Bye.
Oh, put her on the crotch.
That it's just that everything just becomes obnoxious and a bunch of fucking retards and
I
I just find it's more pandering to a subset and trying to make money. That's all. That's really what it feels like.
well,
That's
what a lot of
entirely
companies
what it
are, but
is.
I don't like the month in general because it's fucking hedonistic in many ways. It's just like, oh,
I just
hey.
love how like I'm sitting there and I'm watching friends go point blank. I have multiple friends who before they were like, no, I hate gay pride. I hate it. And I'm like, really? You're gay? And they're like, no, it's just a bunch of assholes doing asshole things.
No,
And
yeah,
then they sit
that's
there and
the
they
main
think they
reason.
represent me. And I'm like, okay. And then the next time, and then recently, like I have a bunch of friends who are really support that side. And they're like, no, seriously, I fucking hate this month too. Because like all of these corporations, just try and abuse this a month, even though they don't understand anything that it means.
I tend to ignore those people more than anything because, like, I'm cynical of the corporations. They're just trying to make money. Surprise, surprise.
I just found it funny that like when my friend said this, I was like, huh, based.
No.
No.
Or kind of generic.
Josh,
take.
you talk to him.
Oh,
He's
no,
not
I have-
based.
I get to fucking. Oh man, I have something to rant about a bit today because
Okay.
I did some pre-orders. We're gonna let's sink in. Let's start this recording because I want to start this rant and you're gonna hear me ramble a bit because
It's gonna be 4 months.
No,
until the rant's over.
it's money related. Actually, it's kind of funny.
Okay. Sync in 3, 2, 1.